coming here, you're an individual person with a different personality. There's a bunch of people that are going to come here. So you just need to not be too hard on yourself and know that it's going to take a while for people to like you or for you to like them. But then you've also got to remember that you don't like everybody and not everybody's going to like you.
So I'm just here with Tagen, who is a fellow H2B friend. We're both here living in Philadelphia at the moment. Tagen's actually from South Africa and has been here on the program for a total of
3 years back and forth.
3 years back and forth. She has stayed here for the winter, mostly in Florida, to South Africa in the summertime, but this year for the first time she's here for the full year round. So I'm going to ask her a couple of questions on her experience here, so you can get a bit more of an insight and a perspective from someone else in the program. So Tagen, after your friend did tell you a little bit more information about the program and everything, what made you decide that it was for you, that it was something that you may want to come over here and do?
Because initially I worked on board the cruise ships. I did a little bit of traveling there. I just felt like I didn't have much time to explore. I had loads of friends, but just not enough time for myself. So I decided that it's a good platform because you have your own accommodation. The accommodation's gorgeous. You're also on land, so you're able to travel.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. You're able to travel a lot. So that's the reason. And yeah, I just think that the platform that I was on in the cruise ships compared to here was the language barrier because I only speak English. So that's a big part of the reason why I chose this program.
And then probably for like your days off, you would have to stay on board the cruise ship rather than be able to be on the land and do things.
Yeah. And I'm more of a land person. I'm more of an explorer. So I like to wake up in the morning and go do whatever I've got to do with or without someone new. It's easy for that to happen in Florida.
Yeah. It's not like you can just swim off the ship. How did you feel when you first got here? Explain a little bit about your experience.
When I first got here, I was very overwhelmed because I didn't have like any friends, and I was a bit concerned like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to make new friends? And then I got to work, and it was extremely intimidating because when I started here, the people had already been here for like 3 weeks, so I was coming into like a bunch of.
And we were all Irish. It was like 50 Irish people and then like 5 South Africans that came, right?
Yeah,
3 weeks later.
Like the first month of my journey, I was extremely like challenging, very difficult. I didn't think I could do it. But somehow then you manage to make friends and then people learn to know you because we're from different countries in the world.
They're interested.
So then somehow it all just fizzled in. Work, I expected something a little bit different. Work wasn't one of the easiest things that I've ever done in my life, I'll be honest. But then when I eventually got to learn how to do my job, I enjoyed it more.
When you felt more like comfortable and like doing your job and that you could do it. Because I feel like the first club that we worked in was an extremely strict club.
Yeah.
Whereas they didn't take any shit and pretty much they train you to be good at your job, but they have high expectations.
Yeah.
So it can be a little bit stressful to be able to meet them expectations, and for us like working in a country club, having to address people as like sir or madam, and all this was like completely new to us.
Yeah.
You said earlier that the reason why you were interested more about this visa rather than the cruise ships was because you have more of an opportunity to be on land and be able to visit places and have time off to go and see them. So how do you feel like that panned out over the season, over your 8 months here in your first season? Do you feel like you were able to see all of the places that you were expected to see, and did you have the time off that you expected to have to be able to do the fun things you wanted to do?
So yes and no, because you don't have awfully a lot of time, but in the country clubs you are able to request off. So you can plan a trip and then you can request off and you can go do whatever your heart desires. On my first season I actually did quite a few places. I've done more states than most of my American friends have. So yes, you do have, but you've just got to take your work schedule into consideration, and you got to accommodate your work as well as yourself and figure out a way to plan. Like planning's crucial. So if you finish early one day, try and make a plan for that night. And then try and get the next day off.
So basically like you may only have 2 days off a week, or you may only have like one day and then being late the next day, and you just have to like deal with the schedule that you do have. Like it's not going to be like where you're going on a 2-week vacation from your home. We're going to have 2 weeks off to plan. You're not going to get that.
Yeah.
I think the most that you may get in a club is like the luckiest thing you'll get is 4 days off. The luckiest thing you'll get is like 4 days off. So like 2 days off one work week and 2 days off the next work week. And it would usually be a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
The slower days where you probably will get off. It's very rare to probably get a weekend off, to be honest.
And some advice would be that a lot of people on the H2B program will complain that they don't have any time to go travel. Yes, you do. You're in control of making that time for yourself.
I would very much agree with that. You just have to work with what you do have and realise that it probably is going to be a weekday that you have to travel, and you may be tired because you do have to work long hours some days, but you do have to squish it in and just remember the reason why you came here, I'd say. So my second last question is going to be something that's asked of me a lot, which is the pay rate. Do you think the pay rate that they give us is livable for while you're here in America? And do you think some people who come over here with intentions to save a bit of money and take some home, that is something that they can do, I guess?
So on my first season I started off on a low pay rate, and somehow I managed to make it work.
We both got about $12, I believe, in the first season.
12. I managed to make it work. My first season was a bit tight because I like to party initially. I like to drink. That's very expensive in America. But I still managed to budget, and I still managed to go home with some money. So yes, it is possible. It's just depending how you want to spend your money. I think at any job you can earn a lot and have a little at the end, or you can earn a little and have a lot at the end. So
would you say it's more about like your like budgeting skills or like what your intentions are? Because I know for us on our first season there's a lot of temptation. We're over here with a bunch of people, usually of like between 20 or like 60 people from all different countries. We're all living together in similar apartments. We all want to get together and drink each night, to be honest. It is like a little party holiday feels for us at first.
Yeah.
Then after being here for a couple of years, that does wear off. And for our bodies and for our minds, we unfortunately can't do that for such a long period of time. But definitely in the first season, I would say you can definitely
you
still
can make
save
it work.
money.
Yeah.
It's just maybe you can't go out every single night with your friends, or maybe you should drink at home some nights.
Yeah.
Or if you do want to go on like an activity, if you want to go down to Orlando or to
Plan.
Disney or go on a trip, you do have to plan it and just save up a week or two in advance, and it's something you can do. So my last question to end this would be, if you were to do this all over again, or how would you do it differently? And also within the same question is, what would you recommend to someone to come if they were coming over on their first season? What was one piece of advice that you would give to them?
So if I could do this all over again, what would I do? I would probably have stayed my full 3 years and done up north, back home. I've done that, as opposed to going home each time, just purely because I went home each time and then I spent all my hard-earned savings and then I had to come back.
Yes.
Then I went home and then I had to come back. Whereas if I just stayed here, I could have gone home with a nice amount in order to open up a business or achieve my goals that I came here for.
Yes. I think what a lot of people don't understand is on this H2B visa, it usually is initially for 8 months and you're in Florida for that season. It usually is for initially 8 months and you're in Florida for that season, and then you have that option to extend your visa to an up north visa such as New York, Michigan, Philadelphia, which can take you through the summertime, and then you can come back down to Florida or Arizona in the wintertime and can stay here for a total of 3 years legally. And that's something that I done. Tagen took the different route of going back and forth to her home country and coming back. So lastly, if it was someone's first season to come here, what's one piece of advice that you would give them of maybe something that they wouldn't think about coming here, or just to put things into reality or perspective for them on how they could enjoy their season more?
So my one piece of advice would be is you're coming here, you're an individual person with a different personality. There's a bunch of people that are going to come here. They've either flown together from their countries, or they've met at the bus stops, or they've met at the clubs. So you just need to not be too hard on yourself and know that it's going to take a while for people to like you or for you to like them. But then you've also got to remember that you don't like everybody and not everybody's going to like you. So just enjoy your time and just be cool in yourself.
I like that. So just like have your intentions before you come here and try and
Yeah.
stick with them, regardless of what else is around you.
Yeah.
And try and adapt. Love that. All right, well, thanks Tagen for this little chat convo. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. It's been a nice conversation. It's been real. Tagen's been very honest with our answers, so I hope that this does help you guys. Ciao for now. I forgot to mention one thing. If you have any more questions regarding this video or any more questions you have regarding the H2B visa, feel free to drop me a message on Facebook or on my Facebook H2B group chat, where I post more upcoming information about the H2B visa. All links will be linked down in the video description box below, so be sure to check that out. If you want more H2B contact, be sure to subscribe. If you like the video, please do give it a thumbs up. Mucho appreciation. Adios.